I always tell people when they start a new venture, whether they want to become a speaker on a topic or they want to found a company, what have you, it's that in your first year, so little of your work will actually be about why you started the business. You're not going to be giving talks your first year. You're not going to be having product launches your first year. You're going to be hiring and fundraising and marketing and all the things you didn't sign up to do. And that's a real shock for some. Did you have that experience?
Oh my gosh. I joke about this at home all the time with my business. I mean, absolutely. I think there's such an element of that that's true even in making a career transition, like working as a psychologist in health technology companies where there's lots of stuff that I didn't expect to be doing that I started doing. But certainly,
Totally.
As a founder, as an entrepreneur, I'm always joking, like, I don't actually think I want to know how to build a funnel on a website. I didn't think that was something that I wanted to be doing. I'm not sure that, that I signed up to figure out how to do an automated email sequence campaign, like these simple things.
Yes.
So it's still a balance, right? Because if you get totally sort of sucked into all of the minutia of what needs to happen day to day in order to reach the people that you want to reach, build the thing that you're trying to build towards, you can sort of lose sight of the why behind it. And that is not a great place to be either. So even if you're not, you're absolutely right. In the early days, you're not getting on stages and telling your story and getting to spend all your time in the vision space, right? But I think it is also important to carve out some time for reflection and tapping back into the why so that you have some fuel to get through the minutia.
That's what's so key, is finding that fuel to get through the minutia. And jokingly, you and I broke another loaf of bread recently where we both shared a little intimacy around, like, gosh, it feels weird to be making a LinkedIn video. Have I become that person?
Oh gosh. Yeah, it does feel weird.
Yeah.
It does feel weird. And if it's totally disconnected from the why, I think that's a little bit of reflection I do in the work that I do now is there's a lot of playbooks, there's a lot of advice, there's a lot of stuff out there about all the things one quote unquote should be doing as a founder, as an entrepreneur. But it's also okay, I think, to reflect on that and say, do I see a path of how this actually gets me to the why? Like, does this actually bring me forward? Like, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok, I'm not making reels.
Yeah.
Maybe someday that'll change, but right now it's not a very clear path to the why, right? Like, that's not necessarily where my people are or where I need to reach folks or how I make some progress towards where I'm trying to go. So that's, I think, a helpful tool too. Like unfortunately, the LinkedIn videos are sometimes part of that equation, and I got to do those.